Microsoft, keep your hands off my browser. Well now, honey, I was sitting here minding my own business, drinking my tea, trying to live a decent life in a world already held together with chewing gum, password resets, and the blood pressure of middle-aged men. And then I find out Microsoft has done it again. After a big Windows update, those little corporate raccoons appear to have reached into the pantry, moved all the cans around, and then acted shocked when I noticed the beans were missing, because suddenly my default browser was not the browser I chose. No, it was Microsoft Edge. Of course it was, imagine that. The company that owns Windows somehow, mysteriously, accidentally, magically, spiritually, and perhaps through the power of interpretive dance, made its own browser the default. Well, slap a bonnet on a possum and call it a wedding planner because I am not buying it. A default browser is not a suggestion. It is not a decorative preference. It is my choice. And if I choose Comet, Chrome, Firefox, Brave, or a browser built by 3 raccoons in a shed, that should be the end of it. But no, Microsoft seems to believe Windows is not an operating system. It is a house they still own after selling it to you. They come in through the side door at night, change the curtains, replace your coffee maker, move your chair 6 inches to the left, and then leave a little note that says, "We improved your experience." No, honey, you did not improve my experience. You put your thumb in my soup, and I felt it. Now let's talk ethics, because legal and ethical are not always the same thing. A thing can be legal and still stink like a gym bag full of old shrimp. Maybe somewhere, buried in 47 pages of update terms, Microsoft gave itself permission. Fine, maybe. But ethically, it is trash behavior. If a user sets a default browser, leave it alone. That is the rule. That is the whole rule. That is the Sunday school version, the college version, and the nursing home version. Leave it alone. Because the moment an operating system starts steering people back to the company's own products, we are talking about platform power. We are talking about dark patterns wearing a little blue blazer. We are talking about corporate behavior so slick it could slide through a screen door without opening it. They know most people will not notice. You were digitally pickpocketed by a trillion-dollar company wearing a customer service smile. And then they wonder why people do not trust big tech. Honey, if trust were a casserole, Microsoft keeps showing up with a fork already in it. This is the problem with modern software. It no longer asks, it nudges, it recommends, it resets, it gently herds, it politely traps. It gives you 6 buttons, 5 of which mean yes, and 1 tiny gray link that means, no thank you, please allow me to remain a human being. And every update feels less like maintenance and more like a corporate seance. Would you like to use Edge? No. Are you sure? Yes. Would you like to try Edge now? No. Edge is faster. I do not care. Edge is secure. So is a locked shed, but I am not sleeping in one. At some point, no means no, even to a browser, especially to a browser. So here is my message to Microsoft. Stop touching my settings. Stop treating my computer like a company-owned rental unit. Stop calling control convenience. Stop calling advertising recommendations. Stop calling a reset an experience. And stop assuming that because someone is not a software engineer, they are too sleepy to notice when you move the furniture. Because some of us notice, some of us look, some of us say, wait a minute, why is Edge standing in my living room holding a casserole dish? And when we notice, we get irritated. And when we notice, we make videos. I put on my good blouse, pour a cup of tea, and start talking. Like a woman who has seen 3 printer drivers and a marriage collapse in the same afternoon. So is it legal? Maybe. Is it ethical? Not in my book. And my book has large print and very little patience. Because your default browser should be your default browser. Your computer should remember your choices. And a software update should not feel like waking up from surgery and discovering the hospital replaced your shoes with roller skates. So check your settings, honey, because apparently now we have to inspect our computers after updates like raccoons have been through the kitchen. And Microsoft? Bless your heart, keep your hands off my browser, because I did not ask for Edge. And I am not living my digital life inside a browser I did not choose, just because some executive in Redmond got lonely and needed attention.